No.
Yeah.
It doesn't, just like, there's some girls. It's one of the old.
Yeah, I was here a couple of years. No elevator? Yeah.
Seems not. Nope. Yes, agree.
Michael, we're queued up already whenever you got.
Okay, let me get my mind right for what I need to say.
So we're.
Do we have any appeals?
No appeals.
Okay,
Just one free.
okay. Tony, okay. Good evening. Welcome to the Columbus BCA meeting of March 26, 2024. We're going to start tonight. We're only going to hear cases for zoning adjustments, no appeals cases. What I will ask you all to do as a group or a body is to stand if you plan to testify and raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony that you'll provide is the truth to the best of your knowledge and belief? If so, say I do.
I do.
Thank you. So I'll ask our staff for preliminary matters to review.
Yes, we have one, case that was heard last year, BZA 21-078 at 1959 Sullivan. The applicant is here to ask for a 1-year extension.
I'm sorry, Jamie, can you repeat the address?
Yeah, it was BZA 21-078 at 1959 Sullivan Avenue.
Thank you.
You, Fred?
Mine's not working.
This piece too.
Wait, rotate. Yeah.
Thank you. Please provide your name and indicate whether or not you've been sworn.
My name is Fred Hutchison. I have been sworn.
Okay, thank
Could
you.
you please use the microphone, Mr. Hutchison? Thank you.
And at the conclusion, be sure to sign in.
It
Right.
may not be on.
It's on.
Oh, is it?
So you good?
I'm-
Okay. Would you please indicate what you'd like to request?
We are continuing to work on the permitting for this project. We ran into difficulties last year with getting the engineers to respond in a timely manner. We got that concluded. We're notified by the engineering department that our plan for our site approval had expired. We had to refile for that and found that we needed to work on the right-of-way dedication, and that's tied up with the surveyor. It should be done soon, but we've run out of time on our previous extensions.
And so how long are you requesting?
When I would hope it would be, a couple of months, but I understand we do it in terms of years, so
We could potentially do it in a term of a year, yes.
yes,
Is that what you're requesting?
yes.
Is everybody familiar with the case, or you may not be? And I don't know that I immediately remember.
This was a case that was a change of use from, site is zoned commercial, but it was an existing non-conforming residential apartment building. And they changed the first floor to eating and drinking and received a parking variance.
And it's on Sullivan?
Yes.
Oh, I think I kind of remember. Okay. Doesn't seem like it would be that complicated to do all of this.
You wouldn't think so.
Okay. Is there anyone here that would like to speak for or against the extension of this board order? Any questions from staff or from our board members? Anybody want to make a motion?
Motion to give them the 1-year extension?
Is there a second?
Second.
Please call the roll.
Ms. Igaloff?
Yes.
Mr. Malika?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes, your extension is granted for 1 year. Good luck with the project as
I hope not to see you again.
I won't take that in the back. Thank you. That's it, Jamie?
That's it. And I'm sorry, regular.
swap one of these microphones for that one. That one's terrible. Please.
For this one?
Yes.
And Mr. Jones, you might want to remind the audience that there are only 3 members tonight and I'll need a unanimous vote.
Fair point. For those of you that are familiar with this venue and those of you that are not, our members are only 3 tonight, and you would have to have all 3 approve your request in order for it to go forward. With that in mind, if you would like to do an extension or a tabling of your request, please let us know, as your case is called, but we would be likely in favor of that, considering that we don't have a full body up here today. Okay, so, and I guess you've seated yourself. Case number BZA 24-001 for 943 Mount Pleasant Avenue.
Yes, 943 Mount Pleasant Avenue is located on the west side of Mount Pleasant Avenue, approximately 320 feet north of East First Avenue. It's part of the Italian Village Commission, and existing zoning is R4 residential district. The approximately 0.22 acre site is currently developed with a single unit dwelling. Surrounding uses include similar single unit dwellings to the north and east, a mix of multi-unit and single unit dwellings to the south, and a mix of multi-unit dwellings to the west. Applicant proposes to split the existing parcel into 2 separate parcels. The applicant is requesting variances to reduce the lot width from 50 feet to 30 feet, reduce the lot area for a single unit dwelling from 5,000 square feet to 4,260 square feet, reduce the minimum side yard required for a garage from 3 feet to 2 feet, and increase the maximum allowable lot area dedicated to a detached garage from 720 square feet to 820 square feet. Planning has no comment, as there is no council adopted plan for this area. The Division of Traffic Management states that in conjunction with the proposed development of the southern proposed lot, the existing access point to Mount Pleasant Avenue that serves the new lot will need to be removed, and access will need to be taken only from the alley that comprises the western frontage of the lot. The Italian Village Commission recommends approval of the requested variances, voting unanimously. City Department's recommendation is likewise that of approval. Staff can recommend approval as the proposed lot split would bring the property closer in line with the character of the surrounding neighborhood in terms of lot width and street access. We do recommend the conditions that the traffic outlined, that the existing access point to Mount Pleasant Avenue that serves the new lot shall be removed, and that the only access that will be allowed to the property will be from the alley. Okay.
Thank you very much. Would you please indicate your name and whether or not you've been sworn?
Yes, Rebecca Mott with the Plank Law Firm, office address 411 East Town Street, Columbus, Ohio 43215. Yes, I've been sworn.
Okay, thank you. And are you in agreement with the conditions as presented?
Yes, I am.
Okay, with that being said, you have the necessary recommendations for approval from the Italian Village Area Commission as well as city staff. Is there anything additional that you'd like to add?
No, in your packet, we have the arguments for the area variances we're seeking. There are 4 of them. Most of them pertain to existing conditions on the property related to the single family and the detached garage. And with the unanimous recommendation of approval from Italian Village, we're just here to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you so much. Is there anyone in the audience that would have any questions or concerns about this project?
I don't know if this action is your.
Excuse me. If you do have questions or things you'd like to voice, please step forward.
Okay.
Thank you so much. And would you please provide your name and indicate whether or not you've been sworn?
Randolph Rader. I did stand up. I was asked to stand up.
And you swore?
I did.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
I don't know if this is pertinent, but as someone who lives 2 doors away, my brother has owned that property for 28 years now. There's been a lot of changes to that neighborhood. I don't believe building on that lot is consistent with the neighborhood environment. Neighborhood has adapted well to the building on Front Street, on High Street. And right now, it's a nice place for birds, for dogs, for a lot of things. One more house would really change the nature of things. And to squeeze it in there, really my concern is, can it be done in keeping with the character of that neighborhood? That's an expensive project. And it got unanimous approval from the Italian Village. I'm disappointed to hear that. I don't see a good feasibility here. I don't see it as being consistent.
Okay. Thank you so much. Would you please write your name on the sheet there?
Sure.
Is there anyone else that would like to speak for or against this project? Seeing and hearing none, is there any question from our board members? Okay, we'll wait. Let's open this down. Thank you so much for your feedback. So I'm ready to call the question or have somebody call the question.
Yeah, we're ready to call the question.
Question's been called, please call the roll.
Mr. Malika?
Yes.
Ms. Egelhoff?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes,
Thank you very much.
you're welcome. Thank you. Next case is BZA 24-002 for 724 Yeager Street. Please step forward.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Would you please let us know your name and indicate whether or not you've been sworn?
I'm Richard Taylor and I have not been sworn.
Okay, Richard, would you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony that you'll provide is the truth to the best of your knowledge or belief?
Yes.
And belief. If so, say I do.
I do.
Thank you so much. Please go ahead and sign in there.
724 Yeager Street is located on the east side of Yeager Street, approximately 50 feet south of Alexander Alley. It is part of the German Village Commission and existing zoning is R2F residential district. The approximately 0.08 acre site is currently developed with a single unit dwelling. Surrounding uses include a mix of similar single unit dwellings and multi-unit dwellings to the north, south, east, and west. The applicant proposes to construct an addition to the rear of the existing primary structure. The applicant is requesting variances to reduce the building setback from 10 feet to 1.58 feet and to reduce the minimum side yard required from 3 feet to 0.2 feet for a primary structure and from 3 feet to 1.8 feet for a detached garage. Planning refers to the German Village Commission as there is no council adopted plan for this area. With a revised exhibit, which you are seeing here, illustrating that the existing concrete areas at the driveway approach will remain, all Division of Traffic Management comments have also been resolved. German Village Commission recommends approval of the requested variances, voting 4-1 in favor. City Department's recommendation is that of approval as well. Staff can recommend approval as the proposed addition matches similar additions in the surrounding area. Sure.
Thank you so much. Just so I'm clear, this is within the same boundaries and this is sort of like looking at existing conditions more than anything else, just in terms of lot lines, or am I reading that wrong?
Yeah, but it would appear so for the setbacks and everything. This is the addition here. And it is within the, setback of the existing primary structure.
Okay.
It's German Village.
Okay,
Pretty tight.
yeah, thank you so much.
And the buildings over the set, all of the property lines, is that what I'm seeing in the, at least according to the,
Well, like a lot of projects or homes in German Village, the existing house, obviously there were no setback. from
Right.
Property lines, so yeah, we're only asking for
weird.
existing conditions.
Okay, yeah.
What if
More,
they know?
more
if
for
they're-
information, it's like, more than anything, yeah.
Okay, thank you. So you do have the recommendation of approval for the, from the city departments, and you have a 4-1 vote from the German Village Area Commission. Is there anything additional that you'd like to add?
There is not.
Okay, there are no conditions on this, as I see, right? No additional conditions?
No.
Okay. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak for or against this proposal as presented? Seeing and hearing none, are there any additional questions from our members?
I'll call the question.
Questions been called, please call the roll.
Ms. Egelhoff?
Yes.
Mr. Malika?
Yes.
Chair Jones?
Yes, variance is granted. Good luck with the project.
Thank you.
Case BZA 24-004 for 805 Edgecliff Drive. Good afternoon. Would you please provide your name and indicate whether or not you've been sworn?
Hi, my name is Elizabeth Seedorf, and I have been sworn.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
805 Edgecliff Drive is located on the north side of Edgecliff Drive, approximately 350 feet west of State Route 315. It is currently zoned R and is part of the Far Northwest Area Commission. The 1.6 acre site is undeveloped. Surrounding uses are primarily single unit residential dwellings. Take a look at the next one. So this, yeah, okay, cool. The applicant proposes to split a lot and construct 2 single unit dwellings. Because lots C and D are in different tax districts, they cannot be combined with lot B. Variances are being requested to construct a dwelling that crosses parcel lines B and C, which will reduce the minimum side yards on lot C and D from 7.5 feet to 0 feet, and to reduce the lot size from 5 acres to 1 acre on lot A, 5 acres to 0.68 acres on lot B, 5 acres to 0.06 acres on lot C, and 5 acres to 0.08 acres on lot B. Planning supports the proposal. They received, the site plans are generally consistent with the Northwest area plan design guidelines pertaining to new housing, addressing the street and attached garages not being front loaded. Staff note elevations have not been submitted and recommend the final elevations adhere to residential design guidelines. This is from traffic. With the proposed building construction on site, sidewalks would be required to be constructed along the Edgecliff Drive frontage per the Department of Public Service sidewalk and shared path requirement rules and regulations. In consideration that Sharon Township is not supportive of this sidewalk being located within the existing Edgecliff Drive right-of-way that is under their jurisdiction, additional right-of-way will need to be dedicated to the city of Columbus along Edgecliff Drive in order to accommodate the necessary sidewalk construction. An exemption to this exemption to the sidewalk requirement would need to be requested and approved. The Far Northwest Area Commission recommends approval of this request. And staff is recommending approval as the requested variance to reduce the lot size is consistent with the surrounding neighborhood and the Northwest Area Plan. Staff note that the lot C and D are in different tax districts and cannot be combined with lot B, and variances are needed for the dwelling to cross parcel lines for parcel B and C on the site to reduce the rear yard basic computing area and side yards on parcel C. And we are not asking any conditions.
Thank you so much. Ms. Seedorf, thank you for being here this afternoon. Can you answer a couple questions?
Sure.
I'm not familiar with this neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
Is this common, what you're doing in this neighborhood?
Yeah, so a little bit of procedural background on this. The larger, you could go back actually to the previous, there, that's fine. So parcel A actually covers what's currently is parcel A and B. So that's one parcel right now. And so it's basically one large parcel right now, and then C and D are existing parcels as well. So
that's all of this.
Yeah, so what we're proposing is to split parcel A into A and B. Now, parcel A was annexed to the city of Columbus in 2001, and then parcel C and D were annexed to the city of Columbus in 2023. So because of the different time periods that these parcels were annexed to the city, they're in different taxing districts, and so they can't be combined. So what we would have loved to have is to have parcel A and parcel B, which parcel B would have been made up of B, C, and D. But because they're in different taxing districts, we can't combine them. So we're asking for these variances to be able to split the lots. So our client just wants to complete the lot split process. We already have approval on the legal descriptions from the county engineer, and this is just part of our lot split process. Their intent is to sell these properties, and then if they ever are developed by someone, I'm sure the person will have to come back and get additional variances. We're just requesting these variances so that we can split the property.
And so your A, B, and then C and D were over here.
Yeah.
Right? So are these parcels? They look like lots to me.
Yeah, so those are platted lots, but they're not parcels. So at some point in time, someone platted this whole, like this whole area, and they were gonna have these really tiny, like postage stamps lots, but that's not what's being proposed here.
And
So,
that's my question to you. Are there other postage stamp lots in this neighborhood?
Yes.
You're gonna be the outlier here.
oh, no, this is what we are proposing is consistent with the rest of the Mount Air neighborhood.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much for that. You have the recommendation without any conditions from city departments. You have unanimous approval from the Northland Community Council. Other than my question just then, is there anything additional that you'd like to add?
Yeah, no, we just appreciate the staff's assistance with this, and like I said, we've addressed the variances in the packet and have the Far Northwest Area Commission approval and staff approval, and we just, yeah, if anybody has any other additional questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Thank you so much. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak for or against this proposal as presented? Seeing and hearing none, is there any question from our board members?
I'll call the question.
Question's been called, please call the roll.
Mr. Malika?
Yes.
Ms. Engelhoff?
Yes.
Chair Jones?
Yes. Variances are granted. Good luck.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Case BZA 24-005 for 2077 Joyce Avenue. Hello, sir.
Good evening.
Would you please provide your name and indicate whether or not you've been sworn?
I'm Jeffrey L. Brown, attorney for the applicant, and I have been sworn.
Thank you so much.
2077 Joyce Avenue, located on the southwest corner of Joyce Avenue and East Blake Avenue, is zoned LM, Limited Manufacturing District, and located in the North Central Area Commission. The 0.71 acre site is currently developed with a plumbing business. Surrounding uses are primarily residential with single unit residential to the west, south, and east, and a church to the north. The applicant proposes to legitimize existing site conditions and is requesting variances to not provide parking lot screening along Joyce Avenue, to reduce the parking setback along East Blake Avenue, Joyce Avenue, and East Maynard Avenue from 25 feet to 10 feet, to reduce the building setback along East Blake Avenue from 25 feet to 10 feet, and from 25 feet to 10 feet along East Maynard Avenue, and to reduce the setback for outdoor storage from 100 feet to 15 feet from a residentially zoned district, from 20 feet to 0 feet along the alley, and from 30 feet to 10 feet along East Maynard Avenue and East Blake Avenue. Limitation text C85-041 restricts storage on the property to exclusively parts and materials related to or utilized in the plumbing and heating business. Construction equipment and materials are only permitted if they are related to the business. The North Central Plan states that a buffer must be provided between commercial uses and residential uses, and that street trees should be planted along street frontages. Additionally, the plan states that service areas must be fully screened by structures and or landscaping. Planning supports the enhanced screening along East Blake and street trees along Joyce and East Maynard as a condition of approval, and deferred to the city forester's recommendation for street tree plantings. The Division of Traffic Management requested a right-of-way dedication of 30 feet from center line of Joyce, and for the inclusion of bike parking for the site. The North Central Area Commission recommends approval with a vote of 7-0. Staff can recommend approval of the requested variances because the applicant has indicated that both the existing and proposed fencing will include privacy fence screening, which will screen the storage and loading areas from the public view and neighboring residential properties. The applicant also indicated that they will provide the requested street trees and additional screening to further reduce the visual impact of the site on the surrounding area. Staff is recommending conditions that the applicant will provide a bike rack, and that buffering with street trees along Joyce and East Maynard, and providing enhanced screening along East Blake Avenue. Which those conditions have been included in the most recent site plan, which was received this week, and which is shown in the PowerPoint.
Okay, thank you. Question for you. We've been recommending or requiring bike parking for a long time. Is there an alternative? Because when I look at this use, I don't see anybody bringing a bike. right? Are there any discussions around the lessening the carbon footprint, because that's what this is in an attempt to do, some alternative to bike parking? Like something that will be meaningful to an alternative user versus bike parking? Does my question make sense?
I'm not sure if planning has anything for that. Typically, planning wants to see bike racks on properties when available, especially when there's a parking reduction, which isn't the case with this application, but whenever there is parking reduction, they want that offset with bike parking. I'm not sure the reason why they requested it for this site.
Okay, thank you for that. And the condition about screening, you're calling it buffering and screening, and that is the landscape. Item 3312.21D, isn't that correct? Or is that different?
That was just to not provide parking lot screening along Joyce.
But we're recommending that they will provide buffering with street trees along Joyce.
Yeah, they would have had to provide a hedge for like headlight screening
Got it.
per code to offset it. We're just asking for the street trees
Okay, and there is residential across the street?
behind,
Behind.
which that's where the fencing is located that will have the privacy screening.
Well, so go back 2 pictures. Yes, so again, I see not only plots of land across the street, but I see parcel numbers, which mean they could be housing. So that is across the street. Is that where you're proposing not having screening?
Well, no, Mr. Jones, in terms of this business has been in this neighborhood since the late 1960s. And they did an addition at the south end of the building there in the late 2000s. And so their business has just been successful. They've always owned the whole block, but now they use the whole block. And so what this is an effort to do is bring a site plan in that the city can improve that covers the existing conditions out there. And so one of the things that I suggested and my client agreed to is where we have the storage area, that's already fenced in. And what we would propose to do is use that screen mesh to go on that to better screen that. As you can see along Joyce, there really isn't a whole lot of room, but we have found some places where we could put street trees and we have that in there. To the north there along Blake, we already have the headlight screening because there is room to do that. So he's been an active part of the community, helping the churches in the neighborhood, and both the local civic association and the area commission have recommended approval. So that screening that you're seeing by that building, there would be a mesh, I believe it's a black mesh that would go on the outside of that you see in more modern developments to provide coverage for them.
Okay, and we go back to there, thank you. So this is what you're screening with the black mesh.
Yes.
And again, these are lots.
Right.
This is the house, presumably. And where's your parking? Here, here?
The parking is basically in front of the building, and then a couple spaces up there to the north.
Okay, so it's going. So Blake.
So now to the right is Joyce. So if you look up to the north and you see those circles of Blake, you see we have the headlight screening to cover those. And there really isn't room to put something on the property along Joyce. So in discussion with the planning department, the suggestion was that we put street trees in there instead.
But there's effectively no parking here. Right. It's open drive.
Right.
The parking is exclusively here?
Well, there and in front of the building there.
There will be no headlights shining across Joyce when part of the parking spaces.
Thank you. Because again, housing is.
Right.
But
that's,
in, so.
Staff handled that much better than I did.
I appreciate it. So again, looks like you have the recommendation of approval subject to some conditions.
Yes.
That you're in agreement with.
Yes.
You have.
That site plan reflects what was asked.
Okay, so that's from the city of Columbus. You have unanimous approval from the North Central Area Commission. Is that a new name?
No, they've been along.
I would think it would be Linden or not Milo Grogan, but Have we
Or
heard?
between Southland and Mile Grove.
Okay, so maybe we don't hear a lot from them. I don't remember that at all. Okay, is there anything additional that you'd like to add?
No, sir. I'm
Okay.
happy.
Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak for or against this proposal as presented? Anything from our board members?
I was just curious, why are you here?
They got cited by code enforcement.
Okay, that's what, got it. I'll call a question then.
Question's been called, please call the roll.
Ms. Eaglewell?
Yes.
Ms. Malika?
Yes.
Chair Jones?
Yes, variances are granted.
Thank you.
Hopefully your client will be in the clear. Case BZA 24-010 for 2480 North High Street.
Good afternoon. I'm John King Chan with West Development, and I have been sworn.
Thank you so much.
All right. 2480 North High Street is located on the northeast corner of North High Street and Wilcox Street. It's part of the University Area Commission and existing zoning is C4 Commercial District. The approximately 0.62 acre site is currently developed with a mixed-use multi-unit dwelling. Surrounding uses include a gas station and church to the north, similar mixed-use multi-unit dwellings to the south, multi-unit and single-unit dwellings to the east, and a mix of retail and multi-unit dwellings to the west. The applicant proposes a change of use from office to retail area in an existing ground floor commercial space. The applicant is requesting a reduction in the number of additional parking spaces required for this new use from 2 additional spaces to 0. Planning is supportive of the parking reduction as the extent of the proposal is small and resides in a pedestrian-friendly environment. Staff notes that the proposal is consistent with design guidelines as the new establishment is near transit and includes existing bike racks near Tompkins Street. Division of Traffic Management has no comments. The University Area Commission recommends approval of the requested variances, voting 14-1. The UIDRB likewise recommends approval. City Department's recommendation is also that of approval. Staff can recommend approval as the reduction in parking is slight and is mitigated by the fact that the site is located along a major transit route. Sure.
Thank you so much. Here's where I would think you'd ask for a couple more parking spaces for bicycles. Okay, you have the recommendation of approval from the University Area Commission. You have the recommendation of approval from the city departments with no conditions. Is there anything additional that you'd like to add to your request?
Not really.
Thank you so much. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak for or against this proposal? Seeing and hearing none, is there anything from our zoning staff, our zoning board members?
I just want to confirm with staff, there's currently 45 parking spaces, correct? So we're going, it'd be 47, but there's 45 existing.
I believe so.
That's what the letter, I just wanted to confirm.
Yeah. It would.
That's what, I just wanted to confirm there was enough there.
Oh, yeah.
The change in use, I'm good.
Are you going to call the question?
One question.
Question's been called, please call the roll.
Ms. Malika?
Yes.
Ms. Eaglewell?
Yes.
Chair Jones?
Yes, variance is granted. Good luck
Thank you.
in your endeavor. Real case.
Yep.
BZA 24-012 for 1206 Oak Street.
No.
Six.
Rockmore. I lied.
It didn't come through on here. Sorry. Did I call the right person?
No, number 6 was Lockport.
Oh, it's Lockmore, it's not me.
Yeah, be right with you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're fine.
BZA 24-011 for 2699 Lockbourne Road. Hello.
Hi,
Would you please provide your name and indicate whether or not you've been sworn?
Rhonda Morrison, and yes, I've been sworn.
Okay, thank you so much.
2699 Lockbourne Road is located on the west side of Lockbourne Road, approximately 490 feet north of Watkins Road. It's zoned C3 commercial and R2 residential, and is located in the far south Columbus Area Commission. The 24-acre parcel is currently developed with a public park, with a swimming pool, pickleball courts, and a community recreation center. Surrounding uses include single-unit residential to the east, multi-unit residential to the north, undeveloped parcels to the west and south, with a salvage yard further to the west, and an auto mechanic further to the south. The applicant proposes to replace the existing pool and construct, in addition to the existing Marion Franklin pool, bathhouse to include a new filtration system and to legitimize the existing parking lot. Variance is being requested to reduce the minimum number of parking spaces required from 319 spaces to 249. Planning is supportive of the proposed parking variance. The Tri-South Neighborhood Plan and Columbus citywide planning policies recommend landscape screening for new development. Staff note the proposal includes bicycle parking beyond that required by code, consistent with C2P2 design guidelines for requests for parking reductions. Therefore, planning is supportive of the proposal as is consistent with the plan and C2P2 design guidelines. Division of Traffic Management requested a right-of-way dedication of 50 feet from the center line of Lockbourne Road. The Far South Columbus Area Commission recommends approval with a vote of 9-0. The staff can recommend approval of the requested variance because it is an existing condition that was triggered by the expansion of the bathhouse. The proposed project is not anticipated to increase the number of patrons to the pool, and staff feels that the existing parking is more than sufficient, especially with the addition of bicycle parking.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. You have the recommendation of approval from the city offices. You have unanimous approval of the Far South Columbus Area Commission. Is there anything additional that you'd like to add?
No, thank you.
Thank you so much. Anyone in the audience who would like to speak for or against this proposal? Seeing and hearing none, anything from our zoning board members?
Call the question.
Questions been called, please call the roll.
Ms. Malaka, or Mr. Gallant,
It's.
Mr. Malaka, Chair
You're
Green.
blending there. Yes.
Chair Jones.
Yes, variance is granted.
Good luck, you guys.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. BZA 24-012 for 1206 Oak Street.
Hey, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
Please provide your name and indicate whether or not you've been sworn.
Shay Wilson, and yes, I have.
Okay, go ahead and sign that sheet, please.
Okay, 1206 Oak Street is located on the north side of Oak Street, approximately 65 feet west of Sherman Avenue. Site is zoned ARLD apartment residential and is within the Near East Area Commission. 3.78 acres, or I'm sorry, 3,780 square foot lot is currently undeveloped. It was recently split from a larger parcel and received variances due to allow construction of a 3-unit dwelling. The applicant now proposes to construct a 5-unit dwelling and requests a variance to reduce the required number of parking spaces from 8 to 5. The Near East Area Plan states that parking needs for commercial and residential areas should be balanced, maintain the historic fabric of the community. Planning is supportive of the parking reduction as the development is located in a walkable, bikeable area with access to transit and a mix of uses. The Division of Traffic Management has no comments, and the Near East Area Commission recommends approval. City staff can recommend approval as there is ample street parking along Oak Street and Sherman Avenue. We don't have any conditions, and turn it back over to you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you so much. Is your first name Kenneth?
I'm Shay. I'm his agent. I'm his son.
Okay.
Yeah, Shay Wilson.
And do we have anything on that?
No.
Any documentation on that?
Well, actually, I mean, I can show you right now.
No comments.
Oh, okay.
What are you showing us?
I'm just showing you where it took my name on it, Shay Wilson.
Says your name on what?
On this sheet here, wherever sheet this is that I got from Mr. Jamie's for you, is my name. It's Ken Top and Sons LLC, CO Shay Wilson.
Is that?
I mean, this is the applicant I've been dealing with, but I
Yeah.
don't know I don't know who the difference between the names are.
It's his father and son.
His father and son, yeah, I'm Shay Wilson.
He's under oath, so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Mr. Chair, you can simply ask him if he has the authority to act on behalf of the applicant.
Do you have the authority?
I do, yes.
Okay, thank you so much. And I'm gonna jump here with staff just a little bit, or is this what we did before?
The previous board order and your report is in the application, yeah.
And I'm sorry, I can't get that out of my head because I remember it. And so all we're doing now is going to a 5-unit building.
Right, previously approved was a 3-unit building. They're adding 2 more units for 5 total. So the previously approved variances will remain. This is just a denser building that requires more parking.
And as you looked at this and these previous variances, nothing creates any kind of contradiction or anything that would be
Nope.
problematic?
All going vertical.
Okay, very good. So You have the Near East Area recommendation or Near East Area Commission recommendation of approval. You have city recommendation of approval. Is there anything additional that you'd like to add?
No, sir.
Thank you so much. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak for or against this project? Seeing and hearing none, is there anyone on the board that has questions?
Chair Jones, I have a comment.
Yes, sir.
And this is probably more for staff. Did you guys look at the vision clearance on the
Yes.
corner where the structure is at?
That was previously approved on the last board order.
Well, but the 10 by 10.
By
looks
10.
like it's still encountered by the overhang of the way they angled that.
Yeah.
Was that resolved?
That was resolved. Well, I mean, that was approved by the board. There's a 10 by 10 by 10 vision clearance triangle that was addressed and approved. Yeah.
Okay, so just want to make sure we had looked at that and.
Yeah, I spoke with Daniel about it. So
Yeah, I didn't get any other resolutions, so I wasn't.
Oh,
sure
really?
if That had been taken
Okay.
care of.
No, yeah, Daniel and I spoke about it right after the staff.
Okay, appreciate it.
Thank you for being thorough.
So I wasn't here on the previous one, so bear with me, but, so you're just adding 2 more units and you're going up?
So before it was 3 townhomes. Now 2 of the townhomes are gonna be flats.
Okay.
And there's gonna be 1 townhome. And so we used to own that big building. We split the lot off, sold that building off. And then we still own that parcel,
How many bedrooms do each unit have?
2.
All right, I'm good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And with that,
Call a question.
question's been called. Please call the roll.
Mr. Malika?
Yes.
Ms. Egelbaum?
Yes.
Chair Jones?
Yes.
Thank you, guys.
Granted. Good luck. Thank you.
Shay, is it SHAY?
EA actually, yeah.
Thank you.
BVA 24-016 for 3452 East Livingston Avenue. Hello, please provide your name and indicate whether or not you've been sworn.
My name is Eric Zargman, attorney for the applicant. I have been sworn.
Thank you so much.
All right, 3452 East Livingston Avenue is located on the north side of East Livingston Avenue, approximately 500 feet east of Barnett Road, and is part of the Mideast Area Commission. Existing zoning is C2 Commercial District. The approximately 3.14 acre site is currently developed with a branch of the Columbus Metropolitan Library. Surrounding uses include a community center to the north, multi-unit dwellings and a gas station to the south, a preparatory school to the east, and a parking lot to the west. The applicant proposes to construct an addition to the existing library along the East Livingston frontage. The applicant is requesting variances to reduce the minimum building setback from 25 feet to 19 feet on the south side of the property fronting the primary street, increase the building setback from the west interior lot line from 50 feet to 162 feet, and the building setback from the east interior lot line from 50 feet to 116 feet, to reduce the minimum width of the building frontage from 60% of the lot width to 36% of the lot width, to allow the primary entrance door to not be located on the primary building frontage, and to reduce the minimum amount of required glass from 40% of the area between a height of 2 and 10 feet above grade to 21%. Planning is supportive of the proposal as the main entrance's engagement with Livingston Avenue frontage, generally facing the street and providing an interesting pedestrian environment, is consistent with C2P2 guidelines. The right-of-way dedication exception request is pending a determination by the Division of Traffic Management Administrator. However, Division of Traffic Management does not object to this application moving forward. The Mideast Area Commission recommends approval of the requested variances, voting unanimously. City Department's recommendation is that of approval. Staff can recommend approval as the proposal is not incongruent with surrounding development and the building still generally orients towards the street. Chair.
Thank you so much. Mr. Zarthman, you have the recommendation of the city for approval. You have the unanimous recommendation of approval from the Mideast Area Commission. No conditions associated with this. Is there anything that you'd like to add right now?
Yes, Chair. I just want to add that all of our requested variances are to the commercial overlay. And given the size of the lot and the fact that we're doing an addition rather than a new build, it makes these standards difficult to meet. And just to add to Dan's report, the right-of-way dedication matter has been partially granted. So Sorry, not informing you on that, but everything's squared away and our variances are all square, so.
Very good. Anything else?
Nope, thank you.
Anyone in the audience who wants to speak for or against this proposal? Seeing and hearing none?
Call the question.
Question's been called. Please call the roll.
Ms. Eaglehawk?
Yes.
Mr. Malcolm?
Yes.
Chair Jones?
Yes, variance is granted.
Thank you.
Good luck. Quick, can I go through these pages? BZA 23-144, 186 East Fourth Avenue.
That's
Dave Perry.
there. Mr. Chair, did we do number 8? 575 Wedgewood.
We wouldn't go, don't we?
Good one.
Unless I fell asleep.
I have number 8 too, also.
What address?
575 to 587 Wedgewood.
I can't say it. Maybe I don't have it in here.
You know, ours, number 8 was Livingston.
Okay, I apologize. We must have old agendas over here.
Well, thank you for keeping us honest. Are you here for 186 East Fourth?
I am.
Thank you so much. Please provide your name and indicate whether or not you've been sworn.
My name is Dave Perry. I have been sworn.
Thank you, Mr. Perry.
Case number 9 is BZA 23144, 186 East Fourth Avenue. It is located on the north side of East Fourth Avenue, approximately 110 feet east of Hamlet Street. It is on R4 residential and part of the Italian Village Commission. The 1.5 acre site is developed with an auto repair facility. Surrounding uses are a mix of single and multi-use unit residential. The applicant proposes to split a lot and construct 2 single unit dwellings, as well as change the use of the existing garage to a residential garage. Variances are being requested to reduce the lot width and area, permitted lot coverage, building setback, side yards, rear yards, and to allow a dwelling to front a public street. Planning has no comment on the proposal as there is no council adopted plan at this location. And they note that the variances will require a recommendation from the Italian Village Commission. The Division of Traffic Management states that after investigating potential access configuration alternatives, they support the proposal to remove the existing curb cut and replace it with a reduced 10-foot driveway to serve the existing garage within the existing structure. The Italian Village Commission recommends approval of this request. And staff is recommending approval. Although there's no council adopted plan at this location, staff can recommend approval of requested variances as increased lot coverage and reduced side yards and setbacks are common characteristics within the dense Italian village. A code compliant development would look out of place. Mr. Chair.
Thank you so much. Mr. Perry, you have the recommendation of approval from the city of Columbus, also the Italian Village Commission. This is quite in depth, but we go through these routinely. Is there anything additional that you'd like to add?
Solely for information, the existing building on your screen, the left side of your screen, this has been a non-residential structure for 100 plus years and has been used for auto repair. But this building is very, very important to the Italian Village Commission, so it will not be removed or only be a garage. The Italian Village Commission has also approved adding a second story to this, and that will also be a single family dwelling.
So am I looking at the front and the back of this lot?
You are, yeah.
Okay.
The left is the front on East Fourth and the right is the rear of the lot.
And of course, you'll make it beautiful, but it's still the same facade.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It'll be painted. There won't be any graffiti. But it's very, very important to the Italian Village Commission.
Understood.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak for or against this proposal? Okay. Mr. Perry, if you'd let these folks step up, you got some people behind you.
Thank you.
You're both welcome to step up at the same time if you want and speak separately. Whoever is not speaking, sign in, and then you guys can swap What do they get, 3 minutes?
Yep.
You have each 3 minutes to speak. So whoever wants to go first, give me your name.
My name is James Tolan.
James
Tolan, T-O-L-A-N-D.
Okay, Mr. Tolan, have you been sworn?
Yes, I have.
Okay, please go ahead.
Yeah, where they're building, my house next to it. And I've been going through all the paperwork and everything, get everything straight. And there's a discrepancy I see on one and then it's not on the other about the distance and clearing distance from the property line. I want to know exactly how close it's going to be because it affects me in a lot of different ways. There's just no way around it. And that's why I'm here, so I can get the full view of what's going on here.
Okay. Is that it?
For now?
Well, this is it. So you have 3 minutes to express everything that you want to. We'll get answers for you.
Yeah. It'll affect my view, it'll affect the way I come in the yard, I come around, the distance that I'm thinking. I've been there 65 years. I know that neighborhood better than anybody. Even few of us left. Guy behind me. So we talk. So I just feel that that's what I'm reading is not enough clearance. People are over already on top of each other. It's like you're getting a small piece of land and trying to throw all this stuff on the land. Parking, water runoffs. Can't even get a parking space. I can go home right now, I ain't got nowhere to park. I had to leave a car parked. And I'm not the only one. Sure, he'll have a garage, but I've noticed in that area, they don't even use their garages. Some do. But they take them. Sometimes you have to put something there to save your spot. And they'll move it. Right there. So, I'm not against progress building. Short North we call it Short North, downside town in Village out there. It's come a long way. A lot of good things. But it looks like it's just a grab bag. Property taxes, zoom. So it'll affect me, property tax, affect me that way. Value, it's a lot of different scenarios that I could name. But, I don't know. But I've seen it happen. So that's why I'm here. And I think my 3 minutes is probably gone.
But trust me, they're all telling you when it's. Keep going. Yeah.
I can go on and on.
Are you at 191? Are you at 191 Green?
191 East Green.
Okay. So they're 3 feet off the property line.
3 feet.
3 feet.
So his house.
It's probably gonna be
It's
about
gonna be, what happened to the 6 foot?
6 feet probably from you.
What happened to even 5 foot?
That wasn't there. I think is it 3 feet that's required?
It depends on the width of the lot. For 40 feet or less, it's 3.
Might be,
Or 50 feet or less, it's 3.
might be referring to the maximum side yard, a reduction to 6 feet, but that's the total between the 2 side yards adds up to 6 feet.
And it does. So he has 3 feet on each side.
So 3 feet from his house to his property line and 3 feet from your house to your property line. So 6 feet in between you.
So it's 6 feet with the 2.
With the 2.
Show them.
Yeah, so if
Here, side plan, you can see the distance.
yeah, so if you look here, the proposed dwelling to the rear, right, so this structure, has 3 feet of clearance from this side yard and then 3 feet clearance from this property line too. So the addition of both of these side yards adds up to a total of 6 feet.
But that's not what he's asking. He wants to know how far his building will be. You can have a single family to the building. It's gonna be.
Gotcha, I see.
And it's to his point, it looks like it's 6 feet.
Yeah, it's about 6 feet if this is to scale, yeah.
Okay, my question.
So hang on, please.
Okay.
I want to make sure that we've addressed all your questions. And,
Well, it's going to depend on.
and just to be clear, just for our process, I want to make sure that everything goes through for you.
Okay.
For our process, we need to understand your questions. We'll have the applicant come back up and address those questions.
Okay.
We will have dialogue up here and come to our conclusion.
Great.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I'll share with you, they did not ask for a parking variance, so we really can't speak to the unfortunate condition of parking in your area on this case. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense, but I'm using my minutes.
You're missing right now, but I appreciate your comments and I appreciate you guys coming out today to be a part of the process. And we want to honor and respect you coming out. So we're going to do our best to help you connect with the applicant after this. So I'm saying all this to say, once I bring him back up, it's not an opportunity for you guys to engage. Okay, we're going to present your questions.
Right.
And have him answer them and you'll be here to hear them.
Yeah.
Then we're going to make a decision. Hopefully it'll be favorable and everybody will walk out of here happy. But I know Mr. Perry and he works a lot with investors in your area, so he will be here again. So I would encourage you to understand and foster the relationship so that everybody could be harmonious.
Sounds like a plan.
All right, thank you so much. Now I'll ask you to sign in and ask you to provide your name.
I didn't sign in.
You were supposed to do that while he was talking.
Okay. Do it now.
What is your name and please indicate whether or not you've been sworn.
I've been sworn. My name is Marcia Riffle.
Okay, thank you
And
so much.
the only thing that I want to clarify is like just trying to read the variances, the minimum side yard permitted on the paper that was mailed. It says to reduce minimum side yards from area A from 3 feet to 0 feet and to reduce both minimum side yards of area B from 5.83 to 3 foot. But then when I looked like through all the other papers, where the staff reviews, and the minimum side yard, it didn't have anything about area B. And then when I was looking on my phone here to the agenda for today, it's not on this one, but it's on the one that was mailed. So I'm kind of, I would like to know why it's not even listed here. And does that mean that there's no minimum? And does that mean it's a 6 foot minimum, maximum? Because the
They meet
maximum,
the minimum side yards on area B.
I'm sorry.
The applicant is meeting the minimum side yards on area B. Minimum is 3 feet, so they're providing 3 feet on each side.
So if they meet
So they don't need
the
it.
conditions, they don't need to speak about it. It's already allowed. It's only when they want to do something outside what's permitted by the code that we
Okay.
have to rule on it. And that's not the case in area B, it sounds like.
Okay. Okay, so the two papers can be different.
Well, I can't
Like you
speak to that. I don't know if something went out differently than what we have in front of us.
It looks like it. I mean, I just, I've been comparing it.
Sure.
And what's on this, I was just curious. I mean, if it doesn't mention B, does that mean that the maximum side yard would go in effect or the minimum? I don't understand the maximum and minimum.
Okay, I'll let staff explain that.
Sure. The maximum is you have to provide 20% of the lot width on the side yard. So if the lot width is 30 feet, 20% would be 6 feet. They have to provide 6 feet for the maximum.
And that's 3 and 3.
Right, and it just so happens to be that's also the minimum for 3 and 3. If you had a 50-foot lot, you need to provide 10 feet. And 5.
Okay. I'm still confused on that, but I mean, I'm white. I just don't know what you would go. I noticed like on some of the other applications or whatever, it doesn't even mention side yards. So I don't know. I just kind of curious because I opened up the ordinances, the city ordinances, and they have their specs. And then this to me just looked like the specs that they want to change.
That's correct. They only have to come to us to present what they want to change. They don't have to speak about the whole project, only the things that they want to request.
Right. So that's what I was thinking, with the minimum side yard, with it not mentioning area B, does it go to the maximum, which is right here?
It meets the
Maximum.
required code, is how I would answer that. It's not outside, they can do it without our approval, I guess is another way to put it.
Okay. So bottom line is it's just gonna be 3 feet from property line.
Or area B, correct.
Yeah. So,
Area A looks like it's right on.
okay.
That's an existing building.
So, will it be surveyed before they start building? Or?
I would think so, I think that would be a
Because
requirement.
there's no stakes that are out there, so I was just kind of curious about where the actual property line is, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and you always have the right, I'm assuming you guys are in the same household, or?
Yeah.
So you could obviously do a survey just to protect yourselves, or if you've recently purchased, I guess you haven't, you've been there. For but sometimes in your closing documents, you have a site survey, and that's really what you need, I think, a location or site.
I don't know if I should have, I started to do that and have it when I came, but I didn't really think I need, I would have assumed it was already done to be able to even.
Well, and to be clear, again, I know you had your 3 minutes, but I'll just step outside.
Why can't you talk to them?
No, technically, no. I want to make sure you guys, I can't say you're gonna be happy, but I want to make sure that you're comfortable and understand your questions have been answered. So if we say yes to this and they build something on your property line, we have not given them license to do that. So don't feel like because you don't have a survey today or you didn't bring one in, any decision we make today grants them authority to build on your property. You still maintain those rights. So if something is built on your property erroneously and accidents happen, you need to step up and protect yourself, but nothing that we will do today gives them license to build on your property. Okay? You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, thank you so much for coming. Mr. Perry, is there anyone else that would like to speak for or against this proposal? Okay, Mr. Perry, if you could join us again and address the questions that the neighbors have presented.
Okay, the area A is with the existing building that we talked about briefly, the building fronting Fourth. And area B is the rear building fronting Greenwood. And by the way, there are lots of buildings fronting Greenwood, but Greenwood is a 30-foot right of way rather than a 35-foot right of way. But in Italian Village, there's lots of buildings that front on Greenwood on the street issue. The side yard, so there are side yard variances for A, for the former auto repair, because they're existing. The side yards are existing. They're in that area. I think it's 0.5 foot, the wall is from the property line, but I have to cite those for applicable variance for the change of use of the building to a single family dwelling. The rear building is fully code compliant at 3-foot side yards. So 3-foot minimum east, 3-foot minimum west. The other code section is the maximum side yard, and that's 20% of the lot width. So 20% of 34.5 or 34.6 is the 6.9 feet. So there is a reduction to the maximum side yard of 6.9 to 6, but not a reduction of the minimum. And will there be a survey? Absolutely, there'll be a survey. It has to be surveyed to complete the lot split, and the builder would want all the corner pins set to know where to set the foundation.
Okay. Any other questions from board members? Okay, and I would ask you, like I said, you play in the sandbox over there. These will continue to be neighborly things that you need to be mindful of. So please, as much as you can, obviously, we're out recommending a good neighbor agreement in a different project. I would just encourage you to continue to be in communication with the neighbors so that there can be a harmonious build and living scenario. Okay.
I will, I don't know the speakers, but I will get their name, phone number, email address, and provide it to my client, who will also be the builder, Roby Development.
Appreciate that.
And probably a little site meeting once the corner pins are set for the survey would be a good idea.
Great idea. Thank you. Anything from board members?
I'll call the question.
Question's been called. Please call the roll.
Mr. Malika?
Yes.
Ms. Egelhoff?
Yes.
Chair Jones?
Yes, variances are granted. Thank you so much, and thank you for being in communication with the neighbors.
Certainly.
BZA 24-017 for 2400 Corporate Exchange. Hello, would you please provide your name and indicate whether or not you've been sworn?
Yes, Marty Runner, and yes, I've been sworn.
Thank you so much.
BZA 24-017, 2400 Corporate Exchange is located at the northwest intersection of Corporate Exchange Drive and Community Park Drive. Is on C4 commercial and is part of the Northland Community Council. The 5.01 acre site is developed with a multiple story office building. Surrounding uses are multi-unit residential to the east and office buildings to the north, south, and west. The applicant proposes to install a portable unit or portable building to be used as a pickup and drop-off facility for a courier service. A special permit is being requested to allow a portable building to remain on site for 2 years. Planning has no comment on the proposal as the Northland area plan does not address this specific matter. Division of Traffic Management had no comments, and the Northland Community Council recommends approval of this request with a vote of 17-0. Although the Northland area plan does not address portable building, staff is comfortable recommending approval as the portable buildings that wish to remain on site on a more permanent basis are reviewed by both the neighborhood group and the BZA, which can impose conditions on a case-by-case basis. And we're asking the condition that the special permit will be valid for 2 years from the date of this portable.
Thank you so much. And I would think that Northland Community Council is familiar. We have the same thing at Morse and up at Easton, right? And we just renewed that the other day. I feel like they were in there. So, okay. You have the recommendation of the Northland Community Council as well as the city of Columbus. There is a condition of 2 years for this placement and the special permit. You understand and accept that?
Yes,
Okay. Is there anything additional that you'd like to add?
I don't think so.
Okay. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak for or against this proposal? Seeing and hearing none, anything from board members?
Call the question.
Question has been called. Please call the roll.
Ms. Egelhoff?
Yes.
Mr. Malika?
Yes.
Chair Jones?
Yes, variance is granted. Good luck with your new kiosk.
Thank you very much. Have a good night.
You as well. BZA 20-003 for 1826 Hollow Run Drive. Hello, would you please provide your name and indicate whether or not you've been sworn?
My name is Shahrukh Minoi, and I have not been sworn today.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony that you'll provide is the truth to the best of your knowledge and belief? If so, say I do.
Yes, I do.
Thank you so much. Please sign in on the sheet.
Okay. 1826 Hollow Run Drive is located on the east side of Hollow Run Drive, approximately 380 feet north of Alkire Road. Site is zoned R2 residential and is located within the Greater Hilltop Area Commission. Site is built with a single unit dwelling constructed in 1972. You can tell it was a Dave Rice report that I did over because I'm going to put in these superfluous details that have nothing to do with the variance. It was I remember so it doesn't sway your vote.
I remember that.
District. It's situated in a single unit subdivision. The applicant proposes to legitimize an existing carport, which was constructed without permits and request variance to reduce the required and minimum side yards. The requests are to reduce the minimum south side yard from 5 feet to 0 feet, the north side yard from 5 feet to 4 feet, and reduces some of the width of the side yards from 10 feet to 4 feet. Planning Division has no comment as the Hilltop Land Use Plan and the Columbus Citywide Planning Policies do not address the issue of carports. The Division of Traffic Management has no comments, and the Hilltop Area Commission recommends approval. City staff consistently recommends disapproval to variances that would allow parking in the in the front or side yards. However, staff can recommend approval as the site appears to have been developed with the intent of allowing a parking space in the side yard. The structure would be an open air covering and not be out of character for the neighborhood. We're not asking for any conditions, Mr. Chair.
Thank you so much. So help me, Jamie. I can't immediately remember how I feel about these, but If we say yes, I don't see a rain gutter on that.
It has one, I saw it.
Does it?
Yeah,
Okay.
I looked at that as well.
Okay. And so my question would have been, if we said yes, would the planning or somebody go out and say, oh, you need to add this?
Well, what would happen was, if there was an approval, the board order is not the final step. They still have to get a building permit, legitimize it. Building would look at it and say, you know, you're at the lot line, you have to fire rate it. You have to provide water retention or dissemination.
Got it.
It has to go through final steps, yeah.
If I may say, I've been in touch with,
So, yeah, to answer your question, we're not the final step. It will need final approvals from building department as well.
Okay, thank you so much.
I was just gonna say, I've been in touch with Trevor Wilcox, who's a code enforcement officer. If you say yes, then he is gonna go back out and make sure that it's okay. So Trevor is on, you know, he is understanding that if you say yes here, there will be inspection done by him.
So what he's saying is Trevor is our code enforcement officer, more or less, and we'll make sure that this, you know, keep him out of court. Okay, you got your BZA variance, next step is get your building permit. You got your building permit, blah, blah, you know, so there's gonna be someone monitoring him, even though this is a 2020 case.
Okay. So did you build this?
The situation with this is we had this house, we were selling this house on an option to a previous person, right? So they were gonna buy this house, they were almost ready to buy, so pretty much they had built this, us understanding they're gonna buy it, and then they didn't buy it, then we just got it back, you know, so previous person that was living there built it, you know, and we were understanding they're gonna buy it, and we understood that they did everything kosher, because we were gonna be out of it, but then they didn't buy it, you know what I mean, they
So
got it
let
divorced.
me say to you, because you sound like you're a housing provider and you help people with homes. You can't just build something.
Right.
So if you own a piece of property, whether you're selling it or not, it has to have a permit associated with it.
We understood that they had done it, you know what I mean, because they were almost like 3 months from buying it, you know what I mean, but we understood.
They did it and broke the law, is what I'm trying to convey to you.
Yes.
So just because you got the property back doesn't make it legal.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
trying to make you aware so the situation doesn't recreate itself in the future. If you own a piece of property and somebody modifies it and doesn't comply with city or state law, you need to be mindful of that so that you can address that
And
up
absolutely.
front.
We have been trying to address that. This, as you said, it's a case 2020. We have been trying to do exactly what you said, but then we were gonna go in front of the Hilltop Commission, and then COVID happened and they canceled all their meetings for about 1.5 years to 2, you know. So then we went in front of the Hilltop Commission. So that's what happened. We just got caught for a while. The
It
Hilltop.
sounds like everything I've said is lost. So is there anything else you'd like to add?
Well, I guess what I was mentioning to you that I'm agreeing with you that we should address that, and that we have been trying to address that when we go to the.
We've had cases from Hilltop since 2020. So I don't know what you mean when you say they haven't met and all of this other stuff. So I don't know what you're saying.
Well, we were supposed to be on their agendas in about June of 2020, and then they said they canceled, and we'll let you know. And then I did not hear from anyone from there until later on. The whole staff changed, and a new group of people got in, and then we got on their agenda and we got a
Okay,
meeting.
thank
and
you.
got approved.
Is there anyone here to speak for or against this proposal? Please step forward.
Yes.
Please step forward. Would you please give this young man room so he can speak? Would you please provide your name and indicate whether or not you've been sworn?
Yes, sir. My name is Robert Cole, and I have been sworn in.
Thank you much. Thank you very much. You have 3 minutes.
Yes, we was ignorant to the fact. We was selling this property, and we was unaware that these people built this awning, okay? At that time, when it was brought to our attention, code enforcement, I personally came down, drew the plans up, and admitted our ignorance for not pulling a permit, but we never had we didn't build this, we didn't erect this. Chuck and myself personally came down here, tried to work with Hilltop Commission, went to meetings. Unfortunately, dirty word COVID came about and it kind of stalled things for a while. We just like to make this right.
Okay.
That's what we're trying to do.
Okay. Anything else?
No, sir.
Okay, please sign your name on the sheet. Anyone else to speak about this case? Seeing and hearing none, anything from board members?
I'll call the question then.
Question's been called, please call the roll.
Mr. Malaka?
Yes.
Ms. Egelhoff?
Yes.
Chair Jones?
Yes, variance is granted. BZA 23-084. 948 Whitethorn. Hello.
Hi.
Would you please provide your name and indicate whether or not you've been sworn?
Stephanie Reisner, no, I have not.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony that you'll provide is the truth to the best of your knowledge and belief? If so, say I do.
I do.
Thank you so much. And you are, okay, I see it here. SBS, you're care of Stephanie Reisner. Thank you so much.
Okay, 948 Whitethorn Avenue, located on the east side of Whitethorn Avenue, approximately 245 feet north of Dartmoor Road. The site is zoned R2 residential and located within the Greater Hilltop Area Commission. The site is currently undeveloped. Surrounding uses are single-unit residential. The applicant proposes a single-unit dwelling with a parking pad in the front yard and requests a variance to reduce the parking setback line from 25 feet to 0 feet. Columbus citywide planning policies state that residential design guidelines for parking lots should be hidden to the greatest extent possible by locating it to the rear or side of a building. As the site does not have alley access or an on-street parking in the vicinity, planning staff is supportive of the request for parking to be placed in the front of the proposed building. The Division of Traffic Management has no comments, and the Hilltop Area Commission recommends approval. City staff consistently recommends disapproval to variances that would result in the parking of vehicles in the side or front yards. There is no access to the rear yard. The design of the current proposal prohibits access to the rear yard, and there's no alley access. Shifting the layout of the proposed building 5 feet either way to allow for code compliant access, a minimum 10-foot driveway, the rear would result in costly fire rating material to be used. While staff still recommends disapproval of the current proposal, staff could support a parking variance to 0. So we'd rather have no parking on site than parking in the front yard.
Okay.
Mr. Chair.
Thank you. And so this home has not been constructed.
Correct.
And do you understand what he's saying? Do you understand?
Go ahead.
Basically, house is not built. It would almost make more sense for you to request a variance for no parking than to propose putting a parking pad in front of this house. That makes sense?
That makes sense.
Because I'll tell you, I wouldn't approve this. It's just not what we do. And I don't know mechanically here, and I will certainly defer to my colleagues. I don't know if we can't do this in this vacuum because this is a change and it would have to, it would have to go back out, but do you guys have a temperature to accept this?
I'm similar to you. I don't think I would approve the parking pad in front of other options.
Great. Okay, so I think in general, we're aligned on this, but we would probably be supportive of a 0 for parking required.
Okay.
You got it?
Yes.
So I'll let you talk to staff. We're gonna go ahead and vote on this, but afterwards probably.
Well, why don't we table this so should reapply and pay another fee?
Is that the easiest?
I think so.
Okay.
And we can discuss your options.
So would you like to request a table?
Yes.
Okay. I'll take a motion.
Motion to table.
Is there a second?
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Please call the roll.
Ms. Egelhoff?
Yes.
Mr. Malaka?
Yes.
Chair Jones?
Yes. Your variance is tabled. Your variance request is tabled. Talk to staff about an alternative solution, and hopefully we'll see you next time. Take care. Meeting adjourned.
Passing.
Sorry, I was hoping.
No, that didn't work out.
Yeah, I had to stand up and ask. I need clarity on some of this stuff.
So, Dave, Harry, Joe Brown, Mott, what's her name? Rebecca Mott.
They want to take me.
No, I just think it's so funny because they have all their stuff with them and then you're always like, do you have anything else to add? And they always do. They always.
Oh, Rebecca didn't say anything.
That's what I'm.
And so Mrs. Arthur is Brian.
Yeah, well,
I
I
think it's a.
You can pay like
thought.
Fine.